Good morning, student. I'm sure you all are taking good care of yourself, and I always wish health and happiness for you. So, but today, before starting the new lesson, let me explain few things. Only this week I'm taking as a revision week. Only this, and from next week, inshallah, we will begin new lessons. And if anything missed out, we will see that as well. So what I did, that I have tried to get all the covered material so far, like from February till March. I tried to get all on these slides along with book references and pages numbers, so that things become more clear for both of us, because more than half of the syllabus is covered by the previous teacher. So, and most of the students were confused about notes and books and all these things. So what I did, I tried to bring everything at one place so that things are easy to understand. So what you have to do this week, just have quick recap. Today I will take 2 chapters, and inshallah in next class I will take 2 or 3, and I give you that total covered material I give you up till now, like from February till March. You have done chapter 8 to 12, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, everything is done. And these things you will find on pages 200, 332 to 392. You will find all these topics and lessons between these pages. So chapter 8 and chapter 9 we will have a quick recap: confederation to constitute, and then launching a new republic. Okay, so the first lesson was about the confederation era. So in this lesson you learned about how the colonists tried to create a new government and discuss the articles of confederation. Main terms we will just see, and the rest you will see in your books by yourself. So what is republic? When you listen this term republic, what do you understand by this? Republic means a government in which the people elect representatives to govern. And what is republicanism? Republicanism is the idea that government should be based on the consent of the people. Then we have articles of confederation. What are articles of confederation? These are the set of laws that establish the first government of the United States. Then we have confederation. What is the meaning of confederation? It's a loose alliance of states. Then a land ordinance of 1785, and what was that? A law that set up a plan for surviving land west of the Appalachian Mountains. And where I am. Okay, a Northwest Ordinance of 1787. It was a law that organized the Northwest territories. Then the next lesson was about creating the Constitution, and in this lesson you have learned how the Constitution and new federal government were created, and also discussed the issues debated at the Constitutional Convention. Main important terms that was covered in the lesson was Great Compromise. And what was Great Compromise? It was an agreement that was made by the Constitutional Convention, in which states would have equal representation in one house of the legislature, and legislature means Congress, and representation based on population in the other house. 3/5 compromise, it was also an agreement that allows states to count 3/5 of their slaves as a part of the population. Then federalism. What is federalism? It's a division of power between the federal and the state government. Legislative branch, you should know what is legislative branch. Legislative branch is the branch of government that makes law, and executive branch is a branch of a government that enforces the laws. Judicial branch is a branch of a government that interprets the laws and the Constitution. And then at the end there's another important term, that checks and balances. So what are checks and balances? These are basically powers. These powers are given to separate branches of government to keep anyone from getting too much power. Ratification and the Bill of Rights. What was ratification? In that lesson you learned how the nation ratified the constitution and discussed the terms Federalist and anti-federalist. This is very important. Okay, so what is the meaning of ratification? It's an official approval of the constitution. And what do you understand by Federalists? Federalists are the supporters of the new constitution, and anti-federalists are the people who oppose to ratification of the new constitution. Bill of Rights, it's a set of amendments passed to protect individual rights. Amendments means change, alteration. Then next lesson was launching a new republic, and in that lesson you learned about Washington's presidency, and what you read that how the nation leaders organized a new government and discussed the laws, events and beliefs of the country and its first leader. So you should know what was important about Judiciary Act of 1789. Basically, it was a law that set up the national court system. Who was Alexander Hamilton? Alexander Hamilton was an early Federalist leader. Cabinet, what is the meaning of cabinet? It's a term used in the lesson that chief advisors of the president, here, cabinet. Okay, then Bank of the United States. It's a national bank funded by the federal government and wealthy investors. Democratic Republicans, Jefferson's political party and ancestors of today's Democratic Party. And then there was another term, two-party system. What is two-party system? It's a political system where two political parties compete for power. Protective tariff, these are like tax on imported goods to protect domestic business. Then we have the Federalist in charge, and in this lesson you have learned how the United States dealt with foreign affairs and discussed on some of the disputes. So Little Turtle, it's a name of a war, by the way. Little Turtle, it's a Native American leader. Okay, Little Turtle, a Native American leader who led Native American Confederacy against Americans in the Battle of Fallen Timber. Okay, so it's a name of a war, Little Turtle, and it was against Americans in the Battle of Fallen Timber. Fallen Timber battle is also very important. Sectionalism, it's a practice of placing the interests of one region over those of the nation as a whole. What were XYZ affairs? American anger over bribes demanded by French diplomats. Alien and Sedition Acts, these were the laws that made it harder to become a citizen and created harsh punishment for people who criticized the government. And nullification, what do you understand by nullification? It's an idea that states had the right to nullify or void any law they deemed unconstitutional. Deemed mean they consider. And then I tried to collect few essential questions, but these are not the only questions. You have to see the assessment at the end of each chapter. You will find more from there. So few I just collected, like what were America's earliest foreign policy problem, what were the Alien and Sedition Acts, why was Pinckney's treaty favorable for the United States, why did American expansion make Native Americans angry, what rights did the anti-federalists believe should be protected, why the task of governing difficult for Washington and Congress, what style of government did Americans favor, what powers did the Articles of Confederation give the new constitutional government, what issues divided America during Adams' presidency. So here the most important thing is your task for today. What you have to do, you have to prepare the assessment of chapter 8 and 9 in this time, and I will come with the next few lessons in the next video, and we will quickly revise all of them so that we can start as soon as possible the new lessons. Take care. See you again.